high, end of July 2013. Here we have a field which was not really giving a lot last year because the structure of the ground was not well. In the beginning of the year we had problems with too much water. So we decided to do a ground cover of horse manure mixed with a lot of organic material. And through that one we planted then the pumpkins, which are very variable, as you see. Some of them are very big and some are small. There's also some spontaneous potatoes and other herbs coming through. At the end there you see the bee hives, and to the right we have the yurt in which we try to have people stay in the night when we have many people, and a little bench to sit on and to meditate. Yeah, here in the end of last summer of 2012 we created raised beds as a pedagogic example for many of the people we teach permaculture to. They are still doing very well. They are now going into their second year. We're going to keep them at least 5 if not 10 years by adding a little bit of fertile soil every winter time. As you see, the spinach has to be harvested still. I mean the spinach seeds, of course. The carrots are mostly harvested already, and so we are now only on our second harvest, which is going to be red beets. In between are the young leeks for winter time. It has not been a very good season outside because of very little sun and warmth in spring and summer, but now it's getting better. So hopefully they will be giving more in 2014. We will also put half rounds of plastic on it so that we can cover it in winter time and have earlier crops on this one. As you see, the raised beds bring up a lot of fertility, extra fertility. We are also mixing a lot of crops here. We have zucchinis, leeks, then the spinach, the carrots, the last of them, and then already the seeding of the new plants for planting out. And then there we have a mixture of red beets, carrots and early leeks, and also the Russian leeks. Here we have the classical mixture on the raised beds with the nylon cover, where we have mostly beans now for late crop, with then here the nice beautiful things, and there the little field with the potatoes and the fruit trees. These are the classical raised beds. We keep them going year after year. As you see, there's a total mixture. You have sweet corn, beans, strawberries, mustard and salads for autumn time. All of that combined with also Swiss chard, salads for the seeds and all these things. So what the system here is that there's no system, meaning that we add plants as the space gets available. Also plants from last year, like the cauliflower coming back, so we say, okay, you come back, it's nice, let's see what you can do. So also potatoes, as you see there, the potatoes from last year that we forgot to harvest, one of them was left, and we'll give new potatoes for this year. This makes in permaculture the work a lot less tiring, because anything that comes back is already there, so you don't really need to plant it. In springtime we also seeded a mixture, but due to many late frosts and strange weathers, not much of it came up. But what it came up, like this sorrel, we let it go because it has found its place. You see also many things are here for seeding, like the parsnip. The cereal is also welcome, and mostly here the nice salads for self-seeding. This means that in springtime there will be no need to seed for salad, for example, because it will fall by itself. Okay, so here again, high end of July 2013. The classical raised beds, I mean, these beds have been now unfertilized for like 15 years. We covered the little roads in between with horse manure, and then all the stuff that has grown to seed and which we don't want, we put it in the road so that it can there come to disintegration. The nice Swiss chard, it's a spontaneous one. As you see, we have been planting salads in between where there were holes left by the onions, who did not work very well this year. Most of them rotted away because of the bad springtime. But many of them will come back in springtime and will be used as green onions. We had lots and lots of mustards and other big plants that we just cut away. The roots will disintegrate in the soil and will be eaten up by the salad plants growing on top of it. Here you have a very nice red beet going to seed, which again will mean no need for seeding red beets in springtime. We just have to remember that it's there. This is a very beautiful plant, which has no use, but it's very beautiful, so we leave it. It's very good for the bees that you see. So here we have a multiplication place for the old varieties of cereals. We have 3 or 4 of them that have grown very well. We are now going to harvest the seeds and look for a new field to multiply them on. And as you see, we have left a lot of space in between the rows, and in between were red beets, which are nearly at the end of the harvest. There's just a few of them left. It worked very well. It had the advantage of giving 2 crops at the same time, and giving also the cereal a lot of space to develop its roots to become strong. We just had a very heavy rainfall and wind, so it's not standing up perfectly, but it's not the end of the world. As you see, this is a trial that we are trying to mix cereals with vegetables. We are at the beginning of these trials. We don't really know where to go with it. We want to include cereals in the vegetable garden so as not to have the cereals in very big fields all close to each other, because we think that the quality, the taste and the health of the cereal is better when it has space to develop. We call the other fields Auschwitz fields, referring to the very close alignment of the Jews at the Auschwitz concentration camp. Here is a classical carrot field. The carrots were seeded, and then the mark was the spinach, so the spinach is still there. We have to harvest it very soon. It's just in rows, and yeah, it has been weeded now 2 times. And as you see, they are very healthy and they are happy to be here. They will give a rather big amount of carrots for autumn time, and we have another one for winter time, for winter and springtime. So here we have a panorama of the field with the parsnips, the caravans in the back, and the cereal for multiplication there. You see the parsnips are very homogeneous. They are also weeded 1 time. I think we need to weed them a 2nd time. We are standing now in the late carrots, which have not come up as they should have been, but it's alright. We still will harvest some of it. And then we go in little by little into the potato field, which is early potatoes are getting ripe, as you see from the flowers. And the late potatoes will little by little also be getting ripe. We have received a few different varieties from a person, 50 different varieties from Leven. So we will see what that does. It's over there. We have sticks on them, but you can't see them now. And in between the potatoes we have seeded sweet corn, because we like to have always mixtures of culture, different vegetables influencing each other. And sweet corn was a good thing to mix with potatoes when the potatoes are not perfectly come up. Of course there are spontaneous pumpkins, which we don't know what we'll do with it, but let them grow. Back there you see another kind of cereal, spelt, but we'll go there afterwards. Beans in full growth. They are giving now their first harvest. Hopefully they will keep on giving till mid-September and September. They are the variety with the purple flowers, with the black seeds, which is more resistant and which keeps on giving beans as long as the sunshine is there. As you see, they are mixed with other crops, but this is the main crop for this year, being beans. I try to always have at least 1/3 of the surface into beans, peas or clover, because this way we always refresh the soil, taking the nitrogen from the air and bringing it into the soil for next year's crop. Probably the crop after this one will be garlic. A spontaneous nasturtium erupted here. We welcome it, and we will also be happy when next year it comes back, but of course we will not let everything become nasturtium. We will weed out a little bit. There's already a second one there. The background is the blackberries, which have given a lot this year, but we might end up taking them away because they are giving too much. They are blocking the evaporation of the field behind it. You see the nice and beautiful leek for next winter time, so the very late leek, also in the bed, together with the stuff that was kept over from last year and what we have already planted for autumn time, the new salads. Yeah. Here spontaneous pumpkin erupted also. We welcome it. It is a bit in the way, that's for sure, but we try to keep it in the road, so regularly we put the leaves in the road, and yeah, it will combine with the others. It will of course be a bit of a pain, not so good for the leeks, but we don't really care for that, because afterwards when the pumpkin is away, the leek has time enough to grow and recover from that. In the front you see a very nice salad going for seeds. Here we see even red beets for winter time, the leek, spontaneous, very beautiful flowers. And in the middle you see that we cover the roads first with horse manure, but then also with all the stuff that comes from the bed, which is superfluous, and which will then also rot. But the seeds that want to fall, so next year we have plants from that. And there were 2 trees growing in the field when we came back, and we have kept them. They are giving us a nice eco niche and shadow, and they are not taking away too much from the plants anyway, as you see. This is a good example of how to create a hedge that is where the wind can get through, but at the same time which keeps the moisture and the heat from the sun inside. We have the willow, we have the berries, and in between we still have the red mallow, trying to make it space. As you see, it is quite closed up now. The chickens behind it are eating up all the stuff that we throw over, so that they are also doing nice work. And in front we have a protected bed, which in springtime is very early and does not suffer from the frost so much, because it's in between 2 lines of vegetation, which protects us from the eastern wind. In front you see 3 beds with strawberry and salads now, and also horseradish for autumn time. The beginning of the new forest garden, we started with 5 trees that are now starting to give the first apples, the very first year. Little by little we will fill it in with berries and with strawberries, so that it becomes the next fruit forest. But for the time being we had to clean the soil, so what did we do? Potatoes came up spontaneously. We planted pumpkin, there's some sweet corn here and there, there's some Swiss chard here and there. And for the rest we just let come what wants to come. And then little by little we'll clean up the soil so that there's no more weeds. And then we will start planting the fruits so that it becomes a real fruit forest.